toughest things to do in all of college football is win on the road. When you're a ranked team going into a hostile environment, these fans are ready to knock them off course. Welcome to Winston-Salem, North Carolina, home to the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. As we'll see the number 24 team in the country, the Syracuse Orange, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. The Demon Deacons will kick it away to start us off. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. So the Syracuse Orange will go on offense first. As we take a quick look at the impact players for today's game, what players did you guys look to for motivation to make an impact during your playing days, Jesse?
Well, it was the guys we relied on each and every week. We came into the season expecting these types of guys to be our biggest weapons, and every week those were the guys that had to deliver for us in order to have success.
Man, it's just fun to have those guys that are consistent. Like they lead by example, then they start to learn their voice and lead the team. But every week, guys that you can count on, they punch the clock and they're hard workers.
These little gains can start to add up as he gets it up to the 34 now.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
Robinson will throw. Makes the grab. And works it to the 40-yard line. That'll be a first down.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver, and you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offense's success.
To the ground with the back. Brings it to the open. Good pick up there as he gets the first down, and they'll mark him at the 48.
I am impressed with the physicality we're seeing up front by this offensive line. Playing on the road, they knew they wanted to get the run game established, and they are doing just that. They're not just getting 3-4 yards a pop. They are gashing this defense.
Syracuse ready to go to work with another first down. Wide receiver going in motion. Wants to go up top on first down. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
You know, it's a nice throw by the QB there. When you're throwing to running backs, you got to make it easy. So you want to put it right on their body, make the catch simple, and let them go to work like they did just there, getting that first.
Got enough for the first. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
I think it's really important for this offense. They get this guy going early in the game, and they're doing a nice job of that right now. Remember, he's the kind of running back who gets better as the game goes on. That's a really good omen for this offense, considering his success now early.
Looking to throw on first down. They're working that left side. He was working his way toward that goal line. They'll stop him at the 2 after a big play up top. Syracuse right back at it.
Great job down here near the goal line. This defense bowing their neck up and getting a big stop.
Ends it off on the counter. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
And with the stuff there, Jesse, on second down, this little third to mid-range. You got 2 downs. What are you thinking here?
Maybe getting your quarterback out on the perimeter and giving him a running pass option. See if you can get the defense in a bubble.
On the ground. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And how about a decision time right off the jump? 4th down. Do I want to go for it? First drive. Palmer, what you going to do?
Leaves his feet and makes a nice catch along the left sideline. And he's going to take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Orange.
Man, it doesn't get any better than that. You script the first 10 plays, that was 10 plays. That was perfection. That was a touchdown. That's called good scouting, being ready for the football game, and executing to a T to start this game off.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. Coming out with it, it's Rich. Rolling the dice to bring it out of the end zone and not work out as he stopped at the 13. The Demon Deacons offense has its first opportunity of the day. And they are going to be met up front by a defensive line group that is going to make life miserable on the offensive line and the quarterback and this whole offense, David.
And this offense is fully aware of the challenge in front of them. This defensive line is quick, they're physical, they're powerful. They wreck games. They individually take over because of their greatness. It's focal point 1, 2, and 3, Jesse.
They're physical and athletic, and that's the thing that's so dynamic about this position group, right? They stop the run, they get after your quarterback. Tremendous challenge for this offensive line to try and match that physicality. We'll see if they can get it done.
Now facing a 3rd and long. Scanning the field, it's Crispin. Can't make the connection on 3rd down thanks to that tough, hard-nosed pass defense, and now it's 4th down. And the Demon Deacons will line up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team tonight. He's got it. A little pressure on the coverage team there, and they'll stop him at the 47-yard line. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. And that incomplete pass caused by the big hit on 1st down, 2nd down coming. They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Now the play fake. Catch in the middle, it's Hart. Dragged down at the 43, but they've got it in enemy territory. They picked up 10 and give him a 1st down.
And in this offense, you know, as a quarterback, you're going to get opportunities to put up some pretty big numbers. You've been impressed watching this guy play early this year. With that last completion, he's now already over 2,000 yards on the season.
A solid pickup there before the defense is able to make the stop.
And after a successful run like that on 1st down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and potentially taking a shot, because even if it's incomplete now on 2nd, you only have a short amount of yards to go here on 3rd.
Rushes on him. Floats it out in space. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
Well, this linebacker is a special player because not only is he good making tackles in the open field, this guy can cover. You saw a great example of the cover.
Shotgun snap on 3rd down. A strike downfield. He'll be brought down at the 3-yard line. An explosive play in the passing game has him on the doorstep. Keeping it on the ground on 1st and goal. They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple.
There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide on these situations. You know the physical ground game comes into play inside the 5-yard line, and they match the intensity. Nice job. Everybody flying around to the football, making the tackle for a loss. Nice job by this defense.
And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. Robinson looking to pass. There to make the tackle, and that's how we'll wrap up this 1st period. Guys, we're at the end of the quarter, and Syracuse has the lead. We've played one. Before we move on, let's have a look at the stats. Now to see if these guys can get back in the game in the 2nd quarter. They'll try to open the quarter by cashing in on this big opportunity deep in the red zone. Looking to the end zone on 3rd and goal. Into the house. Touchdown, Syracuse. That touchdown puts them up by at least 2 scores. Too early to say it's over? Probably, but boy, it's starting to feel that way.
It might not be over, but you're in trouble, and you better find some answers really, really quickly. This team is putting everything together, and right now you got nothing going. Come on, give me something.
Fielded in the end zone. It's Parker. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. Wake Forest has it back, and here comes the Deacon offense. This is when the pressure can ramp up a little bit on an offense, David, when they start feeling the heat to answer a score.
And I think being down 14, you can kind of feel that way, but dude, you put a good drive together. This is a 7-point game, so Palmer, no need to panic.
I was just going to say, David, I mean, this thing can flip quick. You go down, score, all of a sudden your defense gets a stop, or who knows, better yet, gets a turnover. This game is entirely different.
And he is just engulfed at the line by this giant defensive tackle. Got stuffed on first down. It's 2nd and 10. Back to throw. It's Crispin. Breaking down. Nowhere close on that one as he got killed trying to deliver the football, and now they face 3rd down. Trying to pick up a 1st down. On 3rd and long, he has to play for it. Here comes the heat. And he avoids the tackle with the slide.
He was trying to push it downfield. He was looking for a receiver, trying to make a play. You could tell the pressure starting to get to him a little bit. Nowhere to go with the football, and just fights back to the last scrimmage.
They'll get down and put a stop to the return at about the 28-yard line. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. They've been firing on all cylinders, touchdowns on each of the first 2 drives, and they'll try to make it 3 for 3. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
It is hard to run on a defense that comes off the ball like that and runs to the football like that. Good luck. No holes anywhere.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. Fires to the wideout. And the pass is incomplete. Jarred loose by the hip. Syracuse needs to come up with a big 3rd down play to keep the drive going. Trying play action. Finds a man. It's hard. Great pickup as they'll keep this drive moving, and they've got it at the 45.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no pressure. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man zone. That's what he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Makes the grab. It's hard. And he's brought down after a nice game. This senior showed some serious arm strength firing that one in for the 1st down. Robinson will throw. Makes the grab on the left. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down. Syracuse might take a shot here on 2nd and short. To pass. Grabbed in the middle. It's hard. And he's knocked down immediately, but not before he moves the chains. Syracuse ready to go to work with another 1st down.
Well, the defense makes the tackle. They give up the 1st down. They've now got to communicate the next play call. They can't substitute because the offense is going fast.
The Orange with a ton of options available on 2nd and short. Looking to fire. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense.
Not receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're freaking out. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell he was catching the football. He was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out. falter.
Got to give the defense credit on that play, taking everything away, forcing the incompletion. Now it's decision time. 4th and short, and you're in field goal range. What do you do here?
Syracuse looking for the 4th down conversion. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. This time on target. He's got enough. It'll be a 1st down. They've got it up to 12. From the gun. Give on the inside. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt. Wide receiver comes in motion. Robinson looking to pass. They get it down to the 7 on that pass play in prime position for a score.
Nice job by the defense staying glued to him, getting him on the ground as soon as he catches the football. Knowing he's a threat, I'm not going to let this guy get out of my sights. Nice job by the team.
From the gun on 3rd down. He caught it. They will score. Touchdown, Cuse. They are seizing control and taking away home as they push out the lead in this Week 8 showdown.
They have been road warriors here in this game, coming into a tough environment, but in all 3 phases, they have been absolutely dominant. Their defense is not allowed a point, and the offense is going up and down the field, and they score another touchdown here before the end of the 1st half.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Parker. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll start this drive going to the air. It's complete to the left. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there. Still a little ground and cover to pick up the 1st. We've reached the 2-minute timeout, and a score on this drive would do wonders for their confidence. The Demon Deacons in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Wants to go up top. Got his man down here. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a 1st down at the 33. Wants to throw on 1st down. Makes the grab. And just a short, safe pass play to pick up a few. And the Demon Deacons come to the line in the hurry up. To the air, it's Crispin. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down mark. They'll snap it from the 48 on 3rd and short. They'll try to pick up the 1st through the air. Bringing the heat. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. Recovers the fumble, and he's still going.
That ball carrier is very lucky. That easily could have ended up in the hands of the defense. You have got to do a better job of ball security.
The Demon Deacons will bring the punt team onto the field. Hits it on the return. No chance for any kind of return there. They were all for him as soon as he caught the football. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. They've got some time to work with here, Jesse, and if they get a 1st down, they might really get aggressive.
I'd be aggressive right out of the gate. I'd be going for a 1st down. If I get it, then it's pedal to the metal in that 2-minute play to try to score a touchdown or get a field.
But I do think this is a situation where you also have to understand that I have the lead going in their half. I've got the momentum, so don't do anything stupid here.
I just back in the middle. Makes the grab, and it's enough for the 1st down before he's dragged to the ground. Quick timeout from the offense to save precious seconds. They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Looking to throw on 1st down. Intercepted for the 11th time this season. Got room on the return. And they make the play to stop the scoring opportunity just before the end of the half. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the 1st half. To the air on 1st down. They're setting up the screen. No siree, not that one. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. To the air, it's Crispin. No more time to throw. Quarterback is sacked at the 35. Waning seconds of the first half, and they'll try to tack on a 3 before they head to the locker room. We've got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. They'd love nothing better than to add a 3 ball here before the break. He'll need to put some leg in this one, a 52-yard attempt, and just the right finesse to get it in from the right. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update.
Thanks, guys. What a scene there in Winston-Salem. What a fine performance we've seen. And how do we possibly begin without singing the praises of this receiver? His ability to find gaps, run textbook routes, and then show that breakaway speed. He simply is the total package. How this secondary responds, whether they try to double team him or get aggressive at the line, that'll be the story of this second half. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at a Legacy Stadium.
Syracuse has it teed up, ready to kick off and start this second half. He'll bring it out. It's Parker. Didn't find any crease in that kickoff coverage, and he'll be stopped at the 17. The Wake Forest offense returns to the field. They come into this third quarter with a lot of work they need to get done.
Yeah, and it starts with this possession. And I'm going piece by piece, and this is Coach Megan, very simple. I score, I get a stop. I score, I can get back in this game, but it's got to be one drive at a time.
It's going to have to be, but I think the mindset offensively is we're probably going to have to score every time we get it because our defense has been struggling. They have not been getting a lot of stops, so this is a critical...
And they get to the quarterback and knock him down back at the 16.
Man, this defense has played so well, and this offense, they've struggled. They haven't executed greatly. They're going to have to do it against a really good defense who continues to apply pressure. They got to find a way to protect their quarterback a little better.
To throw, it's Crispin. Zings it complete to the right. And he gets it out to the 36. It'll be a first down. And the Demon Deacons come to the line with a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Love the physicality of the secondary on defense. That defender got to the football, was able to separate the receiver from the ball, and did it legally. Beautiful job.
Gets it out quickly. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. The defense was ready for that sneak attempt. They sealed up every crevice, nowhere to go.
And you know it's a predictable situation. You know it's short yardage. They want to run the quarterback sneak. Got to get penetration. And linebackers, boy, they got to jump over the pile. Go meet him in the backfield. Nice job by the D.
And they gambled in the early end, and now they give up really good field position. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. Sometimes people say, if you're good enough, what's the big deal about going on the road? Well, if you're not careful, you might find out a spot like this one, guys.
Yeah, no doubt about it. This is a hostile environment, and you know you're going to be getting the opponent's A game for this one. They've circled this one all offseason, so they better be ready to bring it today, David.
And the hardest thing to do in college football is to go on the road. Everything about it changes, and you want to shut this crowd up early. You don't want to give them belief, because if it starts to build throughout the game, look out.
It's now 1st and 10 from the 24-yard line. Firing to the right, complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain. Syracuse comes to the line on 1st and goal. try to get it in with the run. They get him on the ground at the 3-yard line, but this defense is taking some punches. Now on 2nd and goal. They'll move the tight end. Trying to punch it in. Touchdown, Orange. And the punishment has been extended. Precision blocking up front. Created the open lane, and the running back followed it beautifully.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to follow an offensive line that makes those holes and just gives you a caravan all the way to the end zone. What an unbelievable job blocking up front.
And the extra point gives them a 28-3 lead. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Gentlemen, just wanted to give you a quick update on a game happening in Conference USA. Middle Tennessee is down right now, but this young man under center has shown some moxie. We could see a legend born today in Murfreesboro. It's a touchdown game. They're trailing by 7 to Liberty. Conference USA tends to make its presence felt, and we'll circle back if anything big happens. You should know.
Thanks for the update on that one, Kevin. Let us know when it goes final.
This is going to be a key that we look at this entire game. How can this defense find ways to affect this quarterback and get pressure on him? Because they felt coming into the game, if they could do that, they could affect him and influence this passing game.
He'll pull it down and run. Able to get just a few before sliding to avoid the hit. The Demon Deacons are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. To the air, it's Crispin. Unloads to the wideout. He's got an open man. Gets it to the 46-yard line. First down for this offense. Here's this offense with a fresh set of downs. Motion from the wideout. Off the play fake on 1st down. Throws to the wideout. Finds a man on the left. Ball down at the 39-yard line. And he's got 15 yards on the play and a fresh set of downs. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Snagged out of the air. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? They'll move the wide receiver. To the air on 2nd down. On target. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short gain there. Coming to the line of scrimmage on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. A shot for the end zone. And they can't hook up on the big play, and that brings up a 4th down. And for the 2nd time tonight, they'll try out the field goal kicker. Looks as if this will be a 51-yard attempt. Never a doubt.
Well, that kid just showed off his hammer for a leg, 50-plus, and he did it with ease.
After that last field goal drive, they're set to kick it away. And there will be no return on this one as the ball bounds into the end zone. The Orange have the ball back and ready to go to work. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Robinson will throw. Fires it beautifully in on the crosser. That one could really put this drive into high gear as they have a 1st down at the 37.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that 1st down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And we need more of this from this defense, man. They have let this guy have too much time to throw the football. They haven't gotten that jersey dirty yet, haven't sacked him. But this is just as good as a sack. Getting to him, hitting him, letting him feel the physicality of this game, and not letting him feel comfortable.
Syracuse ready to go to work with another 1st down.
Well, it's a nice play design there. You're getting the running back involved in the pass game. Quarterback gives it to him early so he can go to work and get the 1st down.
They get him down at the 34-yard line. Give him 15 to pick up and a first down.
You got two.
And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody, based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. As we start the fourth quarter, it'll take a pretty sizable comeback to win this one. With a first down in the final period.
Here we go.
Used the play fake, now to throw. And he was hit just as he was releasing the pass, and it falls to the ground incomplete.
And it's nice to be a QB in this spot. He's had a great day. Like, great day. They built a huge lead now. Incompletion's okay. Just take care of the football. Don't throw that thing to the other team.
Robinson looking to pass. This one's complete. He's run out of bounds, and they'll say he stepped out at the 27.
My old coach said to never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
The Orange now facing a third and short. Wants to throw it. Quickly out to the tight end. He's run out of bounds, but he's got enough to move the sticks.
And they found the big fella again, and they found him early and often today. They featured him here in the fourth quarter. Still time left in this football game. I imagine he's going to still continue to get the football thrown this one.
He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. Second down, they'll go to the air. And he really needed to hold on to that one, but it was not loose, and third down is coming.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play, and I'll tell you, after that, that receiver, he's going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
Got his man. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal. Syracuse right back at it. Slams ahead. And he is stopped, not getting close to the end zone. Line of scrimmage still at the 3.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and completing the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
And he gets it back to the 4-yard line. No farther than that. No gain on the play. This is a money play on third and goal. He wants it all. Touchdown, Syracuse. Quick strike through the air for the score. They put another score on the board as they try to push this winning streak to 3.
Salt into your wound, right? Late in the fourth quarter, you can run the football, run this game out. No, sir. I'm going to continue to pad my stats, find my receiver out wide, and get me another touchdown.
And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Wake Forest has it back, and here comes the offense. You want to talk about having a weapon to bail out a drive? David, that's why kickers are so important after that long field goal.
And listen, important is a relative term. We need to make longer passes and get better gains so we don't have to kick long field goals, Palmer, again on offense.
And they've got the weapons to do that. They've just got to be able to dial those plays up. Guys have to be able to make them one-on-one to make life easier on this kicker, who is so important to this team.
Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a third and long. Motion from the wide receiver. Back to throw, it's Crispin. Pressure coming. Complete to the left. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line. And the Demon Deacons come to the line with a new set of downs. Looking to throw on first down. Fires to the wideout. Got his man. They're ripping off chunks of yardage and get it to the 33.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
Wants to throw on first down. Gets it out back. Nice gain on that play, but leaves it a little short of the first down. The Demon Deacons with a second and short to keep this drive moving. They'll pull it on the read. Turning it on. Got some room headed to the goal line. And they'll race it to the house. Away.
And you see the option being such a pain in the behind of the best programs in college football. When you got quarterbacks that have those multiple options, they're making you play very disciplined, and the QB takes it himself, gets in for the score.
The coach still thinks he was right. The officials say he was not. The challenge is denied, and the timeout is gone. The extra point is good, but the lead is still huge. It's 35-13. They're down big, but they'll keep fighting to the bitter end and line up for the onside kick here. He's inside the 40. The Syracuse offense heads back onto the field. They unleashed an aerial assault last time that took them right to the end zone, David.
So, Reese, with that drive, I think you've accomplished something you wanted to accomplish. Make this defense think. You've put them back on their heels. Now, shoot, Palmer, you might be able to slip a few runs in on this drive to really jack them up.
Yeah, I like that idea, but I also like the fact that speed kills. They've got him at the receiver position, so he got one-on-one matchups, man. Take advantage of it.
Syracuse right back at it. They're not just using the running back as check down Charlie in the passing game. They're getting him downfield.
And take my matchups I like. If you're going to play man-to-man, who are you going to put on the running back? You want to put a linebacker on him? I like my chances, even with safeties. Those guys, listen, they aren't as great as corners in covering, so I like finding matchups and exploiting them.
The officials stop the clock for the 2-minute timeout, and the offense is that much closer to victory. It's first down from the 11. Robinson will throw. He's got it on the move. Touchdown, Cuse. And they take it in for 6 more points. They can now exhale just a little bit with that lead, and they are close to a victory here in the 8th week of the season.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the 4th quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Wake Forest has it back, and here comes the Deacon offense. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing today. The Jimmies and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stinks, but you're not good enough. And today they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet, not remember it, forget it, move on for the next game. Maybe it's something right here I can bring positive that carries over to practice and maybe next week.
This is where you make the money on the drive. Ball at the 30, it's 3rd and short. From the gun, wants to pass. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down. They'll leave the offense out there to try to get it past the marker and pick up the first. On 4th down, trying to find his man. Got the conversion and still going. And he 27-yard line.
Ready up.
And the Demon Deacons will snap it on 1st and 10.
Let's go.
He'll do it himself. He breaks a tackle. Didn't get much done on that run. He'll fight his way out and maybe pick up a yard. They'll line up for a 2nd down play. Working that left side now. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Hey, ready.
Well, look what we have here, guys. After all the early season doubts, these guys have put together a winning streak.
They sure have. Man, they're just believing in themselves right now. This is a completely different looking team than what we saw early in the year. They're playing with so much more confidence. And David, when you start making plays, you start stringing W's together, that's obviously what happens.
Everybody gets energized. Everybody starts to contribute. Young guys start to grow up. Coaches start to believe in them. Everything starts to turn around and swing the other way. They got it all going in the right direction.
Thanks so much for spending some time with us. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and this has been another presentation of EA Sports College Football.